Hello everyone, I'm Colonel Failure and this is Train Fever. Here are some trains, and I've got the fever. When you joined us last time, we went back in time a little in order to compensate for a rather heinous miscalculation on my part that led to a situation where we ran out of money permanently. That's not something you really want. And this came about through an ill-advised oil route that, in my mind, was going to stimulate a little bit of growth in one of our towns. But when it came down to it, the opposite was true. The oil never started pumping at such a rate that would actually generate us a profit. And I gave it a fair amount of time for that to happen. So I don't know if it was because I didn't have anyone picking up goods from the oil refinery or not. It's something we'll revisit in the future, but not right now, because we finally achieved profitability on the Tewkesbury-Haverhill Express route, and frankly, long may that continue. We're managing, for the most part, to be at least half full in every train we send, and the upshot is that our bank balance, if you can see way up here, is approaching 2 million, which is fantastic because it means we can start to look at expansion. Now, I have previously considered, setting up more goods facilities in order to speed this expansion along, but frankly, passengers seem to be making me enough money that, why should I bother? I think we've got plenty of mileage to be had simply from running passengers. Anyway, I could watch this little fella do his thing all day long. We've slowed the game back down again to a sedate walking pace rather than the full-scale sprint that we used in order to try and achieve profitability where there was none to be had. And we're running 3 passenger trains on this route, which is what we set up last time around. So let's go find the next one, who's currently on the downhill leg. What are you carrying? 20 of 22. Beautiful. Absolutely just what we wanted. And then let's zoom out so we can get there a little quicker. Here we go. This chap's heading in with 23 of 24 and is about to pick up, looking like a full load. So, all in all, things are looking up, and excuse me, long may that continue. Right then, let's go through some of the fundamentals that we always do. First things first, let's set north. I don't know about you. As a viewer, I don't know if it makes any difference to you, but as a player, it certainly makes a difference to me to keep a fairly standardised orientation of the map. So here we go, the major players. Let's... we got anything to turn off? No, we'll keep it as is. The major players, right, Tewkesbury down here. Our original city, stop calling it a city, it's a town. Our original town, let's sort by population, is now, look at that, getting towards the top of the table. To be honest, there's what, 50 people in between bottom and top of the table, so that can really sway around a little bit. Then we've got Haverhill, which was our first connection. What we've also set up recently is a nice goods route for Haverhill, making steel once again. Steel seems to be pretty reliable. It's even scheduled for an upgrade, which is fantastic. Let's have a quick look at the lines that we're running. So I've used the same naming conventions at both towns. We've got the circle. The circle is the passenger in-town kind of cart route, followed by coal and iron, which are obviously taking the coal and iron to the steel mill, and the steel mill takes stuff back into the city. And as you can see, they are all profitable. Now, Haver Steel currently isn't profitable. Why are you not profitable? Probably because it's taken a little while for the goods to actually start manufacturing. Where are you up to? Hello there, young friend. How far out are you? Why are you taking that ludicrously long route? Well, he doesn't have a choice in the matter. Or does he? Where are you going? This is interesting. There's a steel mill route right here that I'm not using. Is there a good reason for that? Oh yes, because these two are both close to this steel mill. Okay, I'll allow it. Alright, fine. I think first things first, we'll stick another We'll stick another vehicle on that line in order to whiz things along a little bit. I mean, he's going to make, you know, a certain amount of profit there. Let's try a horse wagon, please. Yep. Buy one of those and assign it to, where are we? Haver Steel. There you go. Off you trot. Okay. Well, I mean, as I've always stated, these road warriors, we keep them around because they're good for tick over in terms of just bringing in a little bit of cash. You know, they more than offset the cost of actually running that system in the first place, even though the numbers we're talking about aren't exactly spectacular. Now, I'm optimistic that once we get powered transportation for goods particularly, that will change, and that they will become increasingly profitable. However, if they don't, it's no big deal. You know, what are we talking about? You know, Tuke Steel got 3 wagons running on it, and so far, where are we? November 21st. It's up to 87,000 for the year. I mean, that's not going to set the world alight. Not when you consider that we've made 500,000 from 3 trains. But it all counts. It all helps. It's all stepping us in the right direction. Not to mention the fact they are delivering goods to the town, which should help it to grow. That's my thinking. Right, then let's have in that way that I am somewhat obsessed by it, let's have a quick look at our balance sheet. So here we go. Let's bring this front and centre. So here's the balance sheet for the last couple of years. We're up to 1892. Well, we're just rounding out 1892. And for the past 3 years, we've been very profitable. Well, very profitable. 500,000 last year is not to be sniffed at. We've beaten that this year, which is even better. So all in all, you know, things are looking up. So where's it going to be? Are we going to go to Bexhill that isn't on sea, as has become the recurring joke, or are we going to go Ripon? I think Ripon is the more difficult to get to, although, now, bear with me. If the cursor doesn't show up, this is going to be absolutely meaningless. So I'll do this once and then I'll lay it out with a bit of track. So I'm thinking we go from Haverhill, we track up at Haverhill, and I haven't found the way you can add an extra platform on there yet. Look, alright, so you've got very few options. You click on the thing, we press group. I don't know what group does. Someone tell me what group does, for the love of God. Otherwise I'll have to go and look it up. Right, so there's Haverhill, and I want to add more track. Can, you know, if we drag it or something like that? No. Equally, I've also tried, let's just, you know, lay down another track there, and it doesn't want to stick. See? Usually, if we cancel that, usually if I run track like this, it really wants to stick to the other track that we've got there. So I don't know. I mean, what I don't... And the other thing that I've tried, obviously enough, let's say we wanted to make this a 4-tracker, is I've tried just laying it over the top. No dice. Nope. It says there's not enough space. So, if anybody's got any solutions for me there, I am all ears. Am I missing something? Is there an upgrade button that not currently? So I think the only way to do it is to bulldoze the station and put a replacement in. I don't like that. That's going to wreck everything. I think it's got to be done, though. Anyway, let's show you the route that we're thinking of. I mean, we could run it out of this single station and then, in my own time, go look it up. So, I think, yeah, we'll use signals to sort the problem out. Right, okay, so we'll go charging up here towards Bexhill. Obviously, we'll relay this so that what we're not doing is wasting money, because that's, you know, 1.25 million, 1.75 million there. Yeah, and I don't like that for starters. You know, I think where we want to be. So yes, we want to run this route up here, except I think we'll run the station down like that. So this one will come in a kind of a curvy, you know, round the corner kind of a route. I'm not laying any track just yet because it'll be a waste of money. And then we'll run another one out of Bexhill. Oh, well, that's bold. We'll go from Bexhill out to Ripon. Yeah? So Bexhill will become kind of a hub between Haverhill coming in like that, Ripon coming in like this, which then buys us expansion both to Great Torrington and Bromsgrove. Yes. I can foresee, I mean, where are we? 1893. I can foresee a situation where we're going to be ripping up track later on and relaying it better and more beautiful. And I'm okay with that. The opportunity to endlessly redesign what you're doing is something that is not to be sniffed at. Now, what I am debating now, though, is whether it makes more sense for me to put down a monster of a station now to avoid having to... I think this question answers itself. To avoid having to replace it later. Let's see if that angle is actually one that we can hit. Yeah, I think it probably is. Okay, so we could stick a little. I mean, that's a good size bit of platform going on there. I'm putting a lot of faith in you, Bexhill-on-Sea. I even use your real name to show you the due deference that will hopefully make you comply. I like here, but do I like here? I think I like here better. And we don't want to bolt onto, so it will try and bolt onto the road. We don't want to bolt onto the road because that's just going to make for more compulsory purchasing that we have to do of people's houses. I like to build a road out to me so that the city then expands into where I've built the station. Make sense? It does to me, so there we go. Right, well, we've committed. Then let's link that up to this bit of road here, and then we'll help the city planners along a little, and link that out to there, and we'll link that into here as well. Nothing like making it nice and accessible for our train riding friends. Now, Ripon is only ever going to take incoming rail, possibly from Great Norrington, but more likely just from Bexhill. So I don't think we need to go ridiculously large on the stationing side of things. I think we can probably do let's do a 2-tracker. I mean, I'm all about future-proofing wherever possible. Where's the alignment there? So something like that would be pretty good. Use actually let's give it a good long platform as well, and use this as a terminal. Let's see, you're already starting to spend more expensively than you need to, and you should have built longer platforms at the last place, you pillock. Okay, well, this is going to be a harder one to replace, so let's slot this in right about there. Okay, connector up to the road. Magnifico. Okay, so we've got 2 tracks there, so we can run an upstream and a downstream, as it were. I think what we'll do is we'll get these connected now, and get a train set up on there. Right, now, as you remember, sorry, got rather excited there. Now, last time we built track, what we didn't do, just in case you missed it before, apologies for those to whom I have shown this delight of engineering previously. Where are we? Where are we? I thought it was up here. I thought it was up near Tewkesbury. Oh, it was on the ill-fated oil line that is still there. We're just not using it. Look, right, yes, Humpback Bridge, right? So here comes the line, and for no reason at all, it's decided to build this mound of earth. Except it's not for no reason at all. You see, when you're building track, it will try and maintain the angle that you're setting up at. And so if that means that it has to end up building a little bit of a rise underneath it, it will do. And then, obviously, when you then stop building the line and you start building the next one, it will take it back down again. And so you end up with an unnecessary piece of roller coaster for your train to ride over. Unhelpful for anyone. So the message here is shorter pieces of track, ladies and gentlemen. Shorter pieces of track. Right, so let's start off like this. Right, now that might be too long to begin with. So that's going down. Let's get right in there. I don't want it to be doing I mean, we're going to have to do a slight cut there. But that's okay. I can live with that. We'll take it. Where are we going? Just... Alright, now we'll start from the other end as well. Is this the one? Yes, this is the one we want. Alright, so... Yeah, there's a slight razor under some of this. I mean, we could take it down, but then it makes a cut. So let's not do that. Let's let's keep it simple. I mean, I should be doing this with pause on, really, but actually, I quite like the fact that I've got money still coming in while I'm building. So I'm okay with that. I mean, the other reason that it's sometimes worth pausing is because you've got expenses that are still trickling in while you're building away merrily, and you might think, yeah, so and big deal, but those expenses can take you beyond the completion cost that your rail will take. Now, that doesn't mean that those expenses aren't going to happen, but what it does mean is that you might not be able to finish the track, at which point the expenses start rolling in and your track is not paying for itself in any way at all. And that is a problem. All right, let's have a look. What have we got? A very minor cut going on here. That's okay. Yep, that's okay. I mean, it's not going to do it any good in the winter. Not that Train Fever simulates winter. I have been through many, many years, and not once has there been snow drifting that caused problems for my glorious, unprofitable railroad. I see now. Look, that looks like a more severe cut going on there. Yes, too much that is. All right, let's back up. Let's take that. But we are going to want to start inclining because there is this this hill in between us and our destination. So we don't... is it worth doing 2, do you think? Or is 2 overkill? I think 2's overkill. Let's go with 1 for now. See, even that's... See, look, already made a mess of it. Look, we've got an unnecessary dip here. Right, I'm not settling for it. Get stuck. We're then going to waste even more money by equalising out the land size. I know. If I'd have taken more time in the first place, this wouldn't have happened. There we go. That's 26 grand that was effectively just wasted. Full stop. Right. It wants to go uphill. I am inclined to allow it. No, not that far. Okay, I think that's going to be better. Of course, this could possibly be exactly the same thing again. It is more or less exactly the same thing again. Oh well, we'll get over it. Right, yeah, I mean, now we've spent 50 grand on repairing something that we then put in exactly the same place. Good job. I mean, I could just bang it straight over there and, you know, I see, look, this is what we want to avoid, right? This is what I mean by the game is trying to imagine what it is I need. So it's trying to keep this as flat as possible, right? And I'm trying to now make it a straight line, but of course we could have gone a little further in a straight line before going downhill. So let's just do that, shall we? Let's make sure we're still pointing generally towards where we want to go. Now we can go a little bit further to the right. Okay, look, so this angly pointy thing here is telling us that we are going straight downhill, which is exactly what we want to do. I think we'll stick at this end. No, you started to develop a cut there, so let's keep this downhill. Now, I mean, this is going to affect the speed of the trains in between these two stations, but with a hill in the way, where the elevation of the second town is significantly higher than that of the first town, it's always going to have to go uphill. So there's... Hold on a tick here. Look, let's... There we go. Now, what was the game? I was playing a game recently. I can't for the life of me remember what it was. Oh, Prison Architect. If you've not tried it already, it's fabulous. But what Prison Architect has is it has an architect mode, perhaps obviously, or an architect feature where while laying out or while thinking about what layout you're going to go for your prison, you can put stuff in blueprint fashion, so that you can see whether you're you're wasting money in the way you're laying out. It allows you to change your mind without spending any cash. It's going to build a rise on here because the decline's going to be too steep. Yeah. I don't think it's avoidable. Let's go forward ever so slightly. Yeah, it is unavoidable. Okay, fine. But we'll step it forward ever so gently, and we'll incline manually. This line is likely to be something of a wiggler by the time we finished it. Do you want to do that to avoid cutting? Yeah, I think we do. Alright, let's try linking now and see what it gets on. Let's see what it suggests. It's actually... That's alright. That's okay. We'll take that. Okay, smashing. New line. All set up and frisking. And we've still got 2 million in the bank because obviously I left the simulation running at the same time. So we should be able to just get that shuttling back and forth in the near future. Now, obviously, what I need to do is connect it up so it can use the depot, but I'll do that next time. I know, something of a slow episode where not a lot happened, but thought processes being what... I mean, look at this. The Romans would be appalled. Look at this wiggly thing here. But I guess that's how people build. Is as much as it's desirable to go in a straight line, it's not always cheap to go in a straight line. So we've wiggled around the countryside a little, and hopefully we haven't built too many unnecessary modifications to the ground. So tune in next time, and what we'll do is we'll get this hooked up to Haverhill, and as a result of that, we'll actually get some trains running on it. Thank you very much. Throw me a subscribe if you haven't already. I mean, you've made it this far through the video. It clearly hasn't been that dull. Throw a like if you enjoyed the video. Stick a comment down. Somebody tell me how to expand stations, if there's a button that I'm just missing. And what does the group button do? I do not know. Thank you very much. I've been Colonel Failure. Cheerio.